I'm Dr. Ben Newman, and I'm a coronavirus researcher. Yeah. Next question is from Giselle. Good morning, Giselle. Please, it starts off. What are your thoughts on this Pfizer vaccine that they're reporting about now? Please. You sound really fed up. I don't know. It's the ellipsis, the three dots. That's what does it. Anyway, yeah. The Pfizer vaccine is a weird one. It looks like it's going to be okay, but here's what it is. So what they've done is tried to simplify the problem for the immune system. Ordinarily, when you get an infection, you've got 100% of the virus that's right there, and the immune system can kind of pick and choose what it wants to make a response against. And this is generally a good thing, but also sometimes a bad thing. So there are only a few parts where you can make, for example, an antibody response and have it do any real good. The reason for this is that antibodies are only going to be able to stick to whatever is sticking out of the little virus particle, the little coronavirus. So it's pretty much two proteins that you can bind. And if you make antibodies to anything else, and people definitely do, then you'll have them, they'll be floating around, you can detect them, but they aren't actually going to help you fight the infection. But on the other side, you've got these things called T cells, and they're really neat white blood cells. They have a lot of fun properties. There's some of them that will help out other white blood cells. There are others that will just seek out and destroy, like little teeny weeny heat-seeking missiles, any cell that has an infection, that has the virus in it. And so these are all useful things to have. And so with a full virus, yeah, you're going to make some antibodies that don't work, but you're also going to make a lot of antibodies that do, and you'll get a nice broad T cell response that can recognize the virus no matter where it is. This is good because not everybody can recognize every part of a virus. So when you were born, you inherited these genes, and they're the same genes they would sequence to find out if you're a tissue match for somebody else, if you're going to donate bone marrow or something like that. And these genes are the ones that show little pieces of viruses and such to the immune system so that it can make a response. You've only got the one from your mom and the one from your dad for each one. And if you happen to have inherited one that is not good at gripping SARS, it just, SARS proteins don't fit very well, then you are stuffed. Yeah. Or you can maybe recognize a different part of the virus if you've got more choices. Enter the Pfizer vaccine. What they've done is they've cut this entire virus down to 2% of the virus, which is to say a little piece from the upper middle part of just the spike protein, nothing else, thank you. That is all we are going to show your immune system. So in terms of T cell responses, these white blood cell responses, you're probably cutting it down to about 2% of the virus that you can either present or not present, and that's going to be genetically determined. And you will or won't make a response, and good luck to you if you don't. Yeah. And so they're really, I think, not looking for T cell responses there, and you can kind of tell that from the phase 2 study that they published. They had this weird graph, which I think was in the supplemental data, where they just phoned it in and counted the total number of T cells. Didn't look how many, matched the virus or anything. And just showed that, yeah, the number goes down a little bit after we put the vaccine in. Yeah. What? Am I done here? Are we there yet? Yeah. It's, I don't know. Yeah, like a PhD student that really doesn't want to be there. That's kind of the vibe I get from that particular graph. Like, mom told me I had to say this, so yeah, whatever. I'm sorry, or thank you for my birthday present I didn't like. Yeah. What they are aiming for in the Pfizer vaccine are antibodies, and they are only showing the part of the virus where, if you should make antibodies, the antibodies are probably going to do the most good. So they are just showing the little part of the spike that actually grabs onto the receptor, the protein on the outside of your cell, and no other part. And if you can get an antibody in there, it'll block that thing, and then virus can't stick to cell, and there is no infection. So it is what I would call a high risk, potentially high reward, really high ceiling, really low floor kind of approach. I think it's going to work for some people. I think it's going to totally fail for other people. I think you're not going to know until you get it. I think it's useful. It's a whole lot more useful than nothing, and their preliminary results are okay, whatever they mean. It's just a press release at this stage. We've got to wait until they release the actual data to go over it properly and see if it all adds up and makes sense, and yeah. Because when you got something like this, you know that there are a lot of people behind it that really, really, really want it to work. And there are a lot of people outside looking, kind of cheering it on, that really want it to work. And so you've got to just put all that aside, or at least try to, and be real objective, real rational. Just look at the data and decide, even if this was something that nobody cared about at all, is this thing good enough? And so that's the decision we'll make later. So for now, it looks safe. It looks, it looks like it's going to probably be fairly good for some people. And beyond that, hard to say. It's going to be a little hit or miss, and it's probably only using the one side of your immune system. We're probably not going to really engage the T cells there. A regular infection would totally engage your T cells. This vaccine is not, because it's not a regular infection. It's just a teeny little piece of a virus that's not going to hurt you, but the question is how much it's going to help you. And yeah, so far it seems like at least a little. There you go. That's probably plenty of take on this for now. If you've got more follow-up questions beyond this, put them in, and I can answer that. We could talk for far longer than people want to listen about these different vaccines and how they work in the different parts, but for now I'm going to keep it short. And you want more, you ask for more. You'll get it. Thanks very much for a very good question, and good to talk about something positive for a change. All right, this has been Ask Dr. Ben.